Good evening and welcome to the Sunday Synopsis for Sunday the 6th of September. We've got a lot to cover, so go and grab yourself a drink and we'll be back in a minute. So, good evening, guys. It is Sunday, the 6th of September, and a lot has happened this week. This is probably the biggest news, the biggest week for news we've had for a very long time. So instead of going on to all the bad stuff that we've normally been doing, let's start with the good news first. So first off, we've got to talk about Thorpe Park. There's been a lot of negativity about that announcement, and I just don't really understand what the hell people are moaning about. So for those who aren't aware, Thorpe Park have announced a new event called Fright Nights Festival. Within that, there will be 6 scare zones, which are free, and 2 of the mazes are paid mazes. Now, there's a reason they're doing this, guys. They are not just out to try and screw you out of money like everyone seems to believe on the internet. There is a reason they have to reduce the number of people through the mazes, and there is a reason they've moved things outside. Creek Freak Massacre is an indoor maze. You have to have a maze, has to be very well ventilated. That's part of the COVID security arrangements, and they just couldn't physically do it. So what they've done is they've moved the Buckwheat family outdoors into a scare zone. They've also created a new scare zone over by swarms that they'll be called Swarm Invasion. And a genius piece of marketing, they've come up with another high school. Everyone loved the Amity High, the vampires. Well, high school sucks, the vampires last year. So let's have some werewolves. Let's add a new school, like in Thorpe High. Really excited about that. I think there's a lot they could do with that. Maybe even in the future they could combine them together in a maze, or they could do something really exciting. You got the Wandering Scarecrows, you got the Festival Arena. And then, of course, you've got the return of Platform 15, which is going to run the other way round. So that will be interesting to see what happens there. And, of course, the brand new attraction, Roots of Evil. And, as I say, a lot of people seem to be moaning about the fact that you've got to pay for some of the attractions. But, why should you get the whole of Fright Nights for free? You've got all the theme park rides open and everything else. I'm absolutely 100% behind what Thorpe Park are doing here. It's a really exciting lineup, probably the best lineup they've had for a good few years, and I think it's going to be a great event. And can't wait to see it. So I'm just avoiding my reflection in the back there. So that is Thorpe Park. So that's one good thing. But what else was announced this week? So Primeval confirmed that their new event will be called Route 666. This will be a one-way round event. So unlike the Scream Park there's been before, you will go in at a set time and you will work your way around the site. It's going to take about an hour. The interesting thing is they're stressing this is not Primeval. This is Primeval Presents Route 666. So we've booked in. We're going to go to that. So we're looking forward to seeing what's going on. Another Scream Park that seems to be doing things slightly differently is Twin Lakes. So Extreme Scream Park, they've announced that Stilton Hall Hotel and Spa will not be opening this year, but they've got a new attraction called Belvoir Manors. Now, we think that's probably just a rebrand of Stilton Hall. If anyone's done Stilton Hall recently, there's lots of very close touch points. There's lots of squeeze tunnels. There's the area where you need to squeeze past the mattresses. So we think they're absolutely doing the right thing by removing some of those squeeze points and rebranding that attraction. But interesting, they have confirmed to us that Hoodoo Voodoo is going to go ahead now. Hoodoo Voodoo is a hooded maze where you're following a rope, so we're not sure what sanitization they're going to do there, but it will be interesting to see what they do. Another attraction that had already announced but have now changed their lineup is Jungle NI, the Fright Nights at Jungle NI. They're now calling it Fright Night 2.0. This is now also going to be one continuous trail all the way round the park. It's going to be one route, and all the indoor attractions have been removed. So obviously Northern Ireland does have a slightly different response to COVID than we do in the UK, but that's what they're doing. So it's about the only event in Northern Ireland that is actually happening. Crumlin Road Jowl at the Jail of Horror at Crumlin Road Jowl is also happening, but there's not much else in Ireland going on. So what else have we got? The charity event Scare Zone in North Allerton, run by a good friend of ours called Stu. That has confirmed that will be going ahead. That is a mainly outdoor or polytunnel experience, so that's not an indoor experience, and they are going ahead, and tickets are on sale for that. And then Scare Me in Netherlands, the wonderful Scare Me, they've announced 2 new attractions. They've got a great lineup already, but they've announced an attraction called the Seventh and also something called the Ride. And we know Perry has been working on a ghost train style attraction, which will be interesting. Also abroad, over in Belgium, Bobby Yarn Land, they've announced that there will be just 3 scare zones instead of the 6 mazes and 5 scare zones of previous years. So again, they've moved a lot of the scares to outdoors and just into scare zones, which is very similar to what Wallaby Holland have also done. Okay, another change that we've seen this week is Warwick Castle announced that the Haunted Castle event will become a kids-only event. So they've got the Haunted Hollows, which is great fun, but it's not going to be open till 9 o'clock like it was originally planned to be. And there aren't going to be any scare attractions there, so that's a bit of a shame. A few people have been asking about what's been going on at Alton Towers. So just to confirm from some of the latest construction, Darkening Steps is moving from the courtyard area where it was last year to an area in the Dark Forest that once had the zombie scare zone in it. And then the Freak Show Toxic Junkyard is being moved over to the area, was being built by the area by Spinball, and quite a lot of Spinball Wizard that is. And that is the area that also hosted Scary Tales a few years ago. So looking forward to seeing more about what Alton Towers come up with. Okay, other news. This is still on the good news at the moment. So other news is Mythologic Escape Rooms have announced that they will be hosting a mini scare escape room at Kent Scaregrounds this year. We still don't know the lineup of the attractions at Kent Scaregrounds, but we know there will be at least one escape room, which will be fun. After they announced that Tullys wouldn't open, we said at the time they were going to do a haunted cinema drive-in event. The lineup for that is now listed on their website. All the films that they're showing are available, and they have confirmed there are going to be some themed characters moving around, serving the food and whatever, but they will not be scaring you during the show while you're watching the movie, but there will be some lights and a fire show. So it'll be a great atmosphere down there at Tullys. We absolutely really enjoyed their drive-in, so that would be great fun. All the shows at Grusel Labyrinth in Germany are now live, including the Haunted Manticore Hotel show. So they are now up and open, obviously with COVID restrictions. And then we've had some new attractions, which it's crazy in what's going on at the moment, that actually people are planning some new attractions. So we don't know the name of it, but Cadona's amusement park in Aberdeen have been putting a call out for scare actors for a new Halloween event that they will be hosting. So as soon as we get more details of that, we will share that. We've also got the festival drive-through at Wrexham. These are the people at Cyclone Events. They created The Void a couple of years ago, which was a really good maze and got nominated for a Scare Award. And they're doing the UK's first drive-through Halloween experience. Also this week, Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach announced their Fairground Frights events. These are several nights where you pay to go into the park and all the rides are open, but there will be some roaming scare actors around and you don't quite know where they'll be. So there's no scare attractions there, but there will be people out to scare you around the park. And then Twycross Zoo have announced Horrors of the Wild, which will be a non-zoo based event. They'll be walking around the zoo with live actors and lots of things going on to scare you, although there's no animals involved in that. So that is purely a scare event. So as you can see, there's lots of new news and lots of good news, but we can't leave this without addressing all the bad news that has come this week. So it started off early Monday morning with Screamfields announcing that they would not be able to open this year. Part of it is they want to make sure the staff are safe, they want to make sure their guests are safe, and they don't want to put on a bad experience in their opening year. So they announced that they would not be opening. That was virtually immediately followed by the Howl at Mead Open Farm, stating the same things. They want to keep their staff and their guests safe. So the Howl at Mead Open Farm will not be opening. Then Combat Scarefest had already announced an event in Norfolk, They've said they're not going to be able to host the event that they've currently planned, but they are working on an announcement for something new for Halloween. So as soon as we get the details of that, we will let you know. Then we had Cursed in Essex announce that they were unable to do it. They had been planning for a long time. They said that they were going to go from being a screen park to a one-way route around the park, and they really worked hard to try and see if they could do it. But they just said it wasn't possible to keep guests and staff safe. So unfortunately, they have announced they will not be opening this year. Another one, Extreme Terror, Queks Park. They have said that, again, they will not be able to open this year. Same excuses everyone's using, keeping staff safe, keeping people safe. We then had Dr. Frights Halloween Nights, which is always one of our favourite events every year. And again, the guys have just said there was no way they can open safely. They're known for their quite extreme, quite close-up scares, and there was just no way that could happen. So they've sadly said that they will be postponed until 2021. And finally, the last big one to fall this week was Hallow Scream at York Maze. So they have said that they won't be hosting Hallow Scream, but they will be hosting their Halloween event, which is like Hallow Scream. The mazes are open, but they just put, they don't have any actors in, and it's designed or is aimed for kids who are too old to go trick-or-treating, pumpkin picking, but between the like 10 to 15 age group, who don't actually want to be scared. So all in, that's a lot of news in 1 week. Some really bad news, some really good news, and some interesting new events. Basically, for all those who said they're not going to open, and this is this week, last week, and all the weeks, building up to this, we completely understand. As sad as it is, we completely understand how you need to keep your actors safe, how you need to keep your staff safe, how you need to keep guests safe. And we completely applaud what you're doing. It's sad that we're not going to be able to get to you at Halloween, but absolutely understand. And it does, to be honest, I'm going to be controversial here, it does bring into question how other events are able to open and are not currently stating what they're doing to make themselves COVID secure. There's lots of websites out there, lots of people, like, for example, a Scaresville. You go on their website and they tell you what they are doing, what their rules are, and what you need to do to keep yourself safe. And I would just say that if you're going to an event this year, do look at their regulations, do look at what they're going to do. Are they just opening to make money, or are they actually opening because they can and they've discussed it safely? So I know that will sound controversial, but, you need to look after yourself, and everyone needs to look after what's going on. So with that, we are going to sign off. That was the Sunday Synopsis for Sunday the 6th of September. There are a few more events still left to come. Don't forget to look on www.scaretour.co.uk. The What's On pages are updated regularly. Anything that's not happening is marked in red. Anything that is happening is currently marked in black. There are still a few events who look like they're going ahead but haven't officially confirmed one way or the other. As soon as we get the announcements on those, we will let you know. But do go to that. That website is updated on a daily basis, so that is always the most up-to-date news of what event is opening and what isn't. But obviously, keep following www.scaretour.co.uk. Follow us on all our social media. And we're going to sign off now. We will see you next week. And let's hope we have another week of more positive news. And we'll see you soon.